So
my dog was raped, by the way.
By a
what?
dog?
I don't know his butt. When I first got him, his butthole was real huge, and we just
So you just you're assuming the dog was raped.
he was a street dog, and we just assumed that the backstory that I created for him was that he was in a neighborhood, and we found him. It was super cold, and here's the backstory I created for him. He was an old lady's dog, and the old lady died, and the family was like, yeah, fuck this dog, and they just let him out, and then he was roaming the streets, and then some miscreant that lived in that neighborhood
raped his butt.
His butt was huge. His butthole was huge, and
There's
then
probably other reasons for that other than
it
just
got
getting
unhuge
raped.
after.
No way.
No.
There's only one reason.
No, it's not only that, by the way. When I first got Palmer, every time I would go to, like, when you would pet him, if you would get near his butt, he would,
Yeah, because he had a big knot-heading butthole.
I know, because he was raped in it. Ugh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You ready? We're doing
Sucking
good?
them down.
We're here.
Here we are.
It's a good start to it.
Yeah, just
Me staring blankly into the camera
and
while
me
you
almost puking.
gag.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Puttin On Airs, everybody.
Airheads.
Hey, Airheads.
Here in the
Here
airstream.
in the airstream.
Streaming the air.
Streaming the air. You be choking.
I do. It's fun.
He be choking.
I think, and I don't know, like, I want to go to the doctor, but I don't know, like, I don't know if I should just go to the doctor and be like, hey, excuse me, I would like to be here at the doctor. And they're like, what's your problem? I'll be like, I think my esophagus is tiny. Could you just tell me if it is or not? Because I know, by the way, that is a thing.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Because the preacher...
My grandpa had something about his esophagus didn't hit. I don't remember if it said it was tiny, but he had something off about his esophagus, and it gave him issues and stuff.
The preacher's wife at our church, like, was constantly choking up on stuff because she had a tiny esophagus.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And now the thing is, this hasn't really been a thing that's really... I've always had a fear of choking because... When I was in 5th grade, sitting on my kitchen counter watching Stick Stickly and Hey Arnold, I was eating ramen noodles, ramen noodles, and I swallowed one, and it was the part of the noodle went down my throat, but the other one was still in my mouth.
Yeah.
And it freaked me the fuck out. And ever since then, I've had a phobia about swallowing stuff. But lately, and you know this because you almost had to give me the Heimlich maneuver in Spokane, Washington.
Sour punch straws, wasn't it?
Because I was eating sour punch straws, and I've noticed that...
Hitting too hard. Couldn't put them down.
I've noticed that things that are, like, super sweet and syrupy, like sour candy, which you know is my favorite thing.
Oh, love the
Like,
sour.
when I eat sprees and stuff, and Amber makes fun of me.
Sour
Like,
Patch Kids.
Amber,
fuck yeah, dog.
Amber watches me...
Hell yeah.
Amber, like, watches me eat sprees because she laughs real hard because I'll chew one and then try to swallow it, and, like, almost every time I choke it up.
No, I know. I've seen you do it, too. It was like saying, again, like... When you had that sour punch straw and you like started to choke on it, you fell into the floor.
I was scared. I thought I was
going
to
to
choke.
Fours.
Yeah.
It fucking freaked me out.
It freaked me out.
And then but I've sat in a hotel room with you while you're snacking on something.
Yeah.
And you keep snacking.
Yeah.
And pretty much every time you're like,
yeah.
Like, and it's disconcerting.
It is, yeah. For me too. For me too.
Because I keep just like trying to keep talking, but every 30 seconds I'm like,
I know.
Okay, he's all right.
I know, but like I can't decide. And this is why I want to go to the doctor because I can't decide if it's like I actually have a tiny esophagus or if it's just a mental fear thing that when I start swallowing something and it gets to here, I'm like, I'm gonna choke, and I just like go, ugh, and I just give up. You know what I mean? But like, I chew, like, nowadays when I'm eating stuff, a full meal, like every single bite, usually I swallow down with a huge glass of water. You know what I'm saying? Which like kind of makes the food not hit as hard.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer because I don't know, man. Like, I think it's a lot of mental shit, but like I almost choke to death every time I eat sprees or sour punch straws or fucking, Sour Patch Kids. Oh, I almost choked, but I keep doing it.
You know, it's good. The Skittles, the sour
Skittles too. But I think that's because, like, that's my theory. Is like it's mostly
the dust is what do it.
Yeah,
that's sour dust.
Yeah.
It's like
is
they take
dehydrated lemons or something.
I think it is like citric acid.
It has
or something
to be
like that.
Yeah, because I'm like, but what is sour?
That's the sour. That's the sour in sours.
Right.
Is the dust.
Right.
I feel like they take a regular like fruit flavored candy And then they put the sour on it.
The
They
dust.
dust it
All
with
the
the
dust
sour.
is the same.
Fiberglass.
And the sour, yeah, it hits.
You know what is a thing that should be like you should be able to get that sour dust in a shaker, like a salt shaker. Like
Fuck
you should
yeah.
be able to, but you surely that's a thing that
If
can
it's
happen.
citric, whatever.
Acid.
I don't know if it's citric, but I had a shaker of some kind of stuff that I think might have been. Katie bought it to make bath bombs with or something.
Of course she did.
But it's it's like a food safe thing. I need to look into that. It might have been sour dust. I would like to shake some sour on the stuff.
There's a lot
You
of
just
things
take
where
like
it's
a
oh, this is good.
strawberry?
Yeah.
Actual strawberry and shake some sour on it. Wouldn't that hit? Yeah, we're on to something here, I think.
Ooh.
That's what's up. And it would be
Puttin'
healthy.
On Airs.
Surely you can get that sour dust.
Puttin'
somehow.
On
I mean,
Airs candy.
they get it. Like,
Yeah.
they get it to do their thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it should be the same as salt, pepper, sugar, sour.
I don't know. They may not let the working man have sour. You
Well,
know,
we're
They
gonna
got
figure that
big
shit out.
sour
Yeah.
keeps it from us.
Big Sour, holler at us. Sponsorship,
Yeah,
dust,
by-
sour dust.
By the way, love a good tight esophagus.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think I've got it. I'm just saying, like, I need to go to the doctor, but I don't know. Again, it's a hard.
Russ won't fuck your throat.
Good. Do it. You probably could. I'd gag for sure.
Yep.
We should have already said that on this edition of Puttin' On Airs, I will be discussing. So, fancy people, rednecks, where they overlap. Really, this is fancy people and every type of person. Dogs, fancy people, little dogs they can fit in their purse, and rednecks like ones they can train to kill other animals and stuff like that. We'll talk more about it later, and then Professor Cho's gonna tell us about what subject?
The Romanovs and Anastasia and the
Anastasia.
Bolshevik Revolution. And,
Revolution, Russia.
Yes, yeah, all that.
Is this related to? How does this fit with Catherine the Great?
Oh, that's a good question. That
You-
I
you
should
wa-
know.
You watch the Great,
Yes, I do, but I am a couple
That is-
episodes behind.
but that is Russia.
Yes, and that bitch was not. She was not Russian, was she? She brought
She
into
came
the
from
Russian.
somewhere else. Married
She was
Russian.
the Dauphine. Or
Yes.
the Dauphin.
what?
Dauphine. The
Dolphin, porpoise.
Dauphin. Yes, porpoise. Yes.
porpoise.
Yes.
Okay.
That show does hit, by the way.
It is.
A
It's
lot.
wild.
But
It's very unique.
It's very unique. I'm way behind on it, though, but it's fucking
So,
awesome.
All right. So that's what we're going to be doing. I did want to tell a brief story. Involves you choking. It reminded me of it when we were
Damn
talking.
it.
I
was
mean,
this prepped?
No.
Yeah.
Dude, I've told this story a million times, but not like on the show or anything. We were staying out here. You were staying out here in California. I don't remember what we were doing, but you were in my kitchen.
Largo. We were doing Largo shows.
You were in my kitchen. I walked in the door and you just looked at me and you said, "You're such a fat sack of shit." And then, right after calling me a fat sack of shit, you gagged on the cold ravioli you were eating while standing up over my sink. You're standing there eating cold ravioli. You go, "You're such a fat sack of shit." And I threw up in the sink. That was at like 2:30 in the morning. So
Yeah. Do you know?
that
You
hurt.
must have been doing some real fat sack of shit.
I guess
stuff.
I feel like I wasn't. Maybe I was looking through my cabinets for something to eat or
You
something.
fat sack of shit. Because
Yeah.
that's not normally my move. Normally it is I who gets called the fat sack of shit, mainly because I stay choking on ravioli over sinks.
Yeah.
But yes, I remember that. That was it watershed moment? Is that the flashbulb moment?
Yeah, flashbulb
Like it's-
moment.
I
It's
rem-
like
yeah.
it's seared into your memory.
What's a watershed moment?
That's like it's like an epiphany type thing. I
Oh,
think
yeah, it wasn't
a
that.
watershed moment's like a turning point. I
Right.
think where it's like,
Well, it wasn't that. I didn't
No.
change.
okay, all right. So before we get into all that, I did want to show you. I saw something earlier. So we're in Los Angeles right now. There's a house. So first of all, everybody knows. I think fucking housing market out here is insane.
Yeah,
it's
it's rough.
crazy.
Is it more insane now than it has been? Because it's always just
Yes,
kind of been.
no, it
yeah,
is.
right. It don't
It
hit.
is more insane now than it has been, and it just continues to get even more so. I live in a like 900 square foot house in Burbank. It's a cute little house, but it ain't that big. And
It's
If-
$10 million, by the way.
no, it would literally be, if my landlord sold this house, it would easily sell for, it would be around $1 million.
Yeah,
And
You could buy
it's,
10 houses where I'm
which
from.
is insane, and none of this.
oh, dude, yeah. When Cookeville, Tennessee, where me and Katie met. It's between Nashville and Knoxville, college town. There was this rich couple who used to come into the bar me and Katie worked at, and they sold their house right when we left. And it, on like Zillow and shit, looking at it, I swear to God, it was like some MTV Cribs shit. It looked like a fucking Spanish villa or something. It was insane. And they sold it for like $400,000, I think,
so
something like that.
This is not to brag, but this is just to give people to understand the difference between where I live and here is that my house, where I'm from, I don't live in a fucking mansion, but it is a great, nice house. I could take your house here and fit like 2 of your house on the base level of my house and then 1 of your house where my attic is.
Yeah.
And your rent, I'm not going to say numbers, but your rent is 3 times more than my mortgage is. Like, again, I'm not trying to brag. Like, I get a fucking good deal. Like, I have a great house for nothing.
The house we moved out of in Knoxville was more than twice as big as this one and less than a third the rent every month. But anyway, so they're really raising the bar out here. There's apparently a new mega mansion in Bel Air that's just about to go on the market.
What the fuck is a mega mansion?
You're about to find out. It's valued at $295 million up in the Bel Air Mountains. And, you know, it's Fancy People podcast, so I just thought we'd take a little look at it, a little, you know, sort of MTV Cribs throwback type thing.
Let's do it.
So we'll just, you know, talk while we're watching this, you know, see what you think.
Well, first off, I mean, this is some fucking Tony Stark shit.
Yes, it is.
Like, literally.
Watch it. Look at this right here. Thank you, Russ. Look. It's a moat.
Holy shit.
The whole thing's got a moat around it.
Oh, that's dope.
I mean, dude.
By the way, 3.5, it's funny, too, because, like, there's not a lot of land.
Right.
Holy fucking shit.
Buddy, it
Wow.
unbelievably insane. Look at those ceilings.
That's 35 feet.
Yeah. I think it's literally 25 feet is what they say. Look at all the space for art. You got to have space for your art. See?
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
We'll get
What
into
is
it
that?
afterwards. But
What
like,
is that?
That's just a room to
amazing.
hit with all your achievements on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you put all
Because
your
if you have a
achievements.
place like this, you have achievements.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So you have to have a room with
Slaves,
your achievement.
too, probably.
Yeah, for sure, slaves.
They got a slave dungeon in this house.
How hard did them couches hit?
Oh, my God. Look at that view.
I don't know.
21 bedrooms. Look
that
at this. Make this. Is this common? Does this make sense to you? Look at that. 21 bedrooms, 42 bathrooms.
Yeah, why do you have to have
Is
2
that-
bathrooms?
is
for,
that-
2 people a bedroom.
Or it's like,
Okay.
because they have so many spaces, it's like you have to have your common bathroom.
I guess
for
what
like,
Russ just said. I mean, hell. So with mega mansions, is that normally how it works? Does
Yeah, a
anybody
bunch of
know?
couples, 40 couples living there.
All
Who
there
knows? Yeah, I don't
fucking
know.
each other. That's
Wait, they
what-
live
Yeah,
there?
with
Or
the
they-
mouse
nobody
It's
side,
just
no,
because
no.
these people entertain a lot.
Well, no one has ever lived in this house.
Oh, really?
It's
They've
brand-
just built it?
It's brand new. And they're
Wait,
just
so
about
does
to sell
someone
it.
just
Look at
build
them
this on
butterflies.
spec?
Yes.
Who's
and-
going to buy this?
Yes, and
That's
maybe,
Batman shit.
maybe nobody, and the person who built it on spec stands to lose a shitload of money.
mean,
because
yeah.
they went way over budget and everything.
Well, first off, it could be a hotel. I mean, they could do that.
Airbnb that fucking
yeah,
bitch.
for sure. I mean, you'd have
Jay-Z
to.
needs an Airbnb
Right.
or something. I don't know who else is going to stay in there. Look, full salon in the basement.
Who the fuck gives you a loan to just...
I know.
You're like, oh, I'm just going to make it that way. Do you have a
Bowling
perspective?
alley.
Well, I mean, that... See, again, you could make it it's a hit center. For the record, I have a dream of having a bowling alley in my house one day, and I'm going to do it. Like, one lane.
Yeah.
One lane, I can do it.
Yeah, so
With a movie theater in there.
it very possibly may not sell.
But then what
You know,
the fuck happened?
They're going to put
They
it
had a
up.
whole bubblegum room.
They're going to auction it up. Yeah, got to have a bubblegum room,
Right.
baby.
Yeah, yeah.
You
That
have a
thea-
bubblegum
Look how
room.
dope that fucking theater is.
That theater is bigger than my house by a lot.
Of course. It's probably the size of my house.
Yeah.
Literally one of the 42 bathrooms is
Look
probably
at
as
that
big as my
goddamn
apartment.
grill.
Look at that pool, that infinity pool right in the front.
Dude, you know the thing though about where I'm at, this
Look at those. Those are conversation pods that are submerged in water for some reason.
does this house
Incredible.
like hit for you though?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I
don't think that I would want to have a house like that personally.
I don't
That's
like new stuff.
I would only want to
know what I
own a
mean?
house.
No, I mean, dude, it hits for me
I mean,
to look
it
at.
definitely hits. But like when I think about like I'm gonna spend a lot of money, oh fuck yeah, like a putting green and shit.
Chipping green. Or chipping
When I think
green.
about spending a lot of money on
Look at that.
houses
Oh
or
my
stuff, I
God.
want old stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm from the South. Like the reason that my house was so like attractive to me is that it was built in 1912. You know, like I like the old style shit, new looking stuff. Like I don't know, when I see that, I just go like, yeah, this would be great for like a convention. But I don't want to live in the space feeling. Like I don't want my house to look like the Jetsons and stuff.
I think I would feel weirded out, and also I would feel like having all that space that I could never possibly really use
Do
it
anything
all
with.
would. I think that would bother
you
me.
would feel like it's a. I know it's funny, like the rich feel so alone. You would really feel
Yeah.
alone if you had that big of a house, like, and it was just you and some motherfuckers
Just
in there.
no
like,
friends.
yeah, like you're like, goddamn, you could. I mean, now granted, it'd be good for relationships.
My fur coming off.
Oh
I
yeah,
keep getting like fur in my mouth.
I'm itching like a motherfucker. What type of fur is that?
I mean, it's faux something.
Faux fur,
It's
yeah.
faux fur. But and it ain't this. But you remember, I wore this on the road in D.C. that time,
Yeah.
and we were walking to the club, and you remember from across the street, a presumably nice young black gentleman,
Yeah.
yelled out from across the street, "Hey, I like that chinchilla dog."
Which is probably the best you've ever felt about
Oh, I
yourself.
loved it.
Yeah.
It
Dude,
was so great.
I'll be honest with you, like there's nothing no matter, like I could sell 1 million shows to a network and nothing will ever make me feel as good as when I'm walking down the street wearing a nice pair of shoes and
yeah.
I walk past a black dude and he goes, "Them threes," you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, what's up, man? What's up? Like
Yeah.
They were just talking about this on your mom's house, by the way.
Really?
Just like how awesome a compliment from a black
it's
dude
unreal.
is. It's the
It's
best.
fucking
Your
unbelievable.
clothes
Yeah.
or whatever. Like
For the 3 black people that are listening to this podcast, just know that if for some reason you decide that you want to make a white person's day, it's as easy as just going, "Nice shirt." Like that's all you got to fucking do. And we're like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, if he said it, you know what I mean? It must fucking
you
be.
know what
probably-
else for me? Young kids.
Yeah.
Because
For sure.
I have
'Cause
like a
they're cool.
22-year-old white kid is like he saw my
Oh, you mean
he
so
saw
like
my
young
my,
adults,
my
or like
Air
teenage-
Force.
okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like cool kids.
Yeah.
Because what it means is
saw
cool.
my Air
and-
Force ones. He's like those are icy.
Yeah, black
don't even know
people,
what
no
that means,
matter
but
the
Sounds
age,
cool though.
black people, no matter their age, are cool. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a 50-year-old
Right.
black dude is
Still
as
as
cool
cool
as
as
a
a-
22-year-old any fucking
Correct.
other person.
Shit, maybe cooler.
Way,
dude.
well, dude, way cooler.
older black
Like a
unks?
unks?
Get some
Yeah,
Yeah, they
unks,
actually
dog.
get cooler.
Unks?
Like if
they
a
do
unk
get
come-
cooler.
They do.
Wow.
Yeah, they do. They age like a fine wine for sure.
Yeah.
That's fine to say, right?
I would think we're complimenting.
Of
them.
course.
I mean, us complimenting them don't hit. I guess.
Right.
I'm sure
But
there's some uglies, you know.
Yeah, right.
Oh
But
yeah, they can't all hit.
Yeah,
You know.
I've seen some nerds too.
yeah, I mean, Neil deGrasse Tyson exists. That fucking
Yeah,
just
Where you at?
smart
on
guy,
him?
but I don't know what.
I'll be honest with you, like he's one that I've done like a pretty big flip on.
Yeah.
Because like when he first came out, I was like, sweet man, an awesome nerd black dude. That's great, you know. And then like he just stays being annoying
Yes.
as fuck.
Yeah, I agree. He's,
Like
he's a
just
bit
up-
much.
He's so much, man.
Yeah.
Because like used to, it was just like he would just come out and be like, "Yeah, space stuff," and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, space stuff." And now he'll just like come out with some like I don't know. He'll just say some bogus shit that like he's just a downer. Like he's a
Yeah.
huge downer.
Right.
He will just throw out some bullshit that no one at all asked for.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are we shitting on insert dumb thing you just shit on here? Like, we all like that. Like, go solve space math.
Yeah, he's
know what I
debunking
mean?
superheroes. It's like
Yes,
we know they're
yes, it's
we
like
know
fucking,
they're fake, man.
Yes, exactly. He does shit like this. Well, you know, Tony Stark would actually not be. We fucking know. Come on, man. Like, deal with the cosmos. That's why we signed up for you. Yeah. So no, he don't not hit for me.
Right.
He just doesn't hit for me the way that he used to hit for me. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Does he wear a bow tie?
Yeah, probably.
I feel like he would. But
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
And I mean, bow ties are fine, but
Yeah.
like,
I like seeing a bow tie.
I would hit in a bow
No
tie.
hat though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
bow
I
tie.
can
I need
to not have
tie.
a
You know, I
hat
can
on.
tie a bow tie, but I can't tie a regular tie.
I did not know that. That's weird.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to tie a bow tie, but
I don't
can tie
either.
a
I don't
regular
think.
tie.
I don't think I remember. But I could at one point.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? You no hat, like full bald and with a bow tie.
Yeah, I would definitely
Tight
look
little
like a
button-up shirt on.
Louisiana Republican politician.
Yeah.
Like,
Would hit for me.
yeah, well, we can make that happen. Bow tie, big bow tie, sponsor us. Throw us
Hey,
a bow
shout
tie.
out bow tie.
Shout out bow tie.
I like your pasta too.
I was about to say
dog.
their
I like
pasta's
your
pretty
pasta,
fucking
too.
legit. I like bow tie pasta because of the differences of texture throughout it.
Yeah.
Like in the middle, you get that little bit more of a
got
kind
more
of
like
crunchy or more
not
out.
crunchy, but
Well, what
it's
I'm
got
saying
more-
is
it's denser.
It's denser. So if the outer rims are al dente, it is even more al dente.
Yeah.
So you can get more of a, you know what I'm saying? Like I fucking really love a bow tie pasta.
They still coming out with new pastas.
I don't think so. And now there will be pastas
They've
that
got pretty wild
there's
with the
pastas that
pastas.
are new to me that like I'll just now start
Like
fucking
fucking
with.
wagon wheels. How they do that?
That's kind of. They have to have like a cookie cutter type thing, right?
I guess
It's the only way that they could do it because they're not doing that shit individually. Otherwise, it's not worth it.
No.
Bugatani, that's what's up.
What's Bugatani?
Bugatani is
it's like
penne.
hollow fat spaghetti.
It's like penne,
right?
but bigger. It's bigger penne.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean?
No, it
No,
sounds like a hit.
I think I'll tell you, I worked at the Olive Garden for 10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
So unless they were calling it wrong,
Yeah.
the bucatini is like a fat hollow spaghetti, I believe.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. It's a spaghetti noodle, but it's hollow throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a sour straw.
Right.
It's like a sour straw noodle.
pasta
Yes, you're
sour
right.
straw.
And I just had those for the first time the other day. And what's great
Oh
about
wait, but some people use pasta straws.
Yes,
now
but
is that just bucatini? That's
these
all
are
that is?
thinner. But what's great about bucatini is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's great about bucatini is
How the fuck
some-
they do that?
I don't know. Some of the sauce gets in there.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So when you
Of
bite
course it
into it,
does.
it explodes with the sauce and shit
Yeah,
like
buddy,
that.
you've
We can
sold
do an
me.
episode on pasta, right? That's fancy and redneck.
It's like a Play-Doh Fun Factory or something like that.
Yeah,
right? One
no,
of those
bucatini.
kinda-
That shit. I just fucked with that for the first time, and I made a
I'm gonna get me some.
I made a
of that.
bugatini Alfredo, and so all the fucking like
All the sauce
Alfredo
goes-
gets in there.
Yeah, it
Oh
goes
my
in
God,
the middle,
dude.
yeah.
Shut up, y'all hitting for me. Okay,
Hit the lemon
All right.
zest on top of that motherfucker.
dogs.
Oh, dude, wait. Sour,
Some dust on that.
yeah, and the bucatini.
Yeah, sour pasta. We've never tried it, but here we are. They do chocolate pasta.
Yeah, don't let your drinks be drinks, man. You like squid ink?
Yeah,
Squid ink hits.
I've had it one time. I've seen
It's
it a lot,
good.
and I had it. It's fucking awesome. It's different.
It's like
than just,
salt. It's like ocean salt.
yeah, it's like real. It's like
Briny,
caviar-ish. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I love it.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay,
great.
Anyway,
That's Drew.
Guys, spring is here and it's time to get sprung. Hell, it's almost summer, by the way, which means you're going to be in your bathing suit and it's going to be time to get it on. And that is where our friends at Blue Chew come in. Blue Chew, it's something that I can never go without. It's going to help you get a new dick. Tell them about it, Trae.
Who don't want a new dick?
We all
You know
do.
what I mean, but we all need a new dick. Yeah, Blue Chew is a unique online service that gives you the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead to get down, or you can just get down when getting down comes up. You know what I mean? Process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and when you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. That's the best part about it. It's all done down there on the internet there. You ain't got to go to the doctor's office. You ain't got to have any awkward conversations. You ain't got to wait in line at the pharmacy. They send you new dick straight to your door. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the U.S. of A, prepared and shipped directly to your door in a discreet package, and we do mean package.
You got that on-demand dick with Blue Chew, Daddy, and you know I've been using this for a long time. I would continue to use it even if they didn't sponsor us, I promise you that, because if I was to ever stop, Mrs. Cho, Mrs. Dream, skew, my wife Amber would be like, no, Daddy, you ain't bringing that old dick round here no more. That ain't the deal. I like that new dick. That's what I'm accustomed to, and that's what I get with Blue Chew. So, Trae, I believe that our listeners have a special deal they can get.
Yeah, if you're trying to get you a new dick, which you aren't, we've got a special deal for our listeners. You can try Blue Chew for free.
Free.
I said free, F-R-E-E,
Insane.
free, by God. When you use the promo code POA at checkout, all you do is pay $5 shipping. $5 for
Ain't
a
shit.
brand new dick,
Ain't
Joe.
shit.
You
Ain't
can't
shit.
beat that.
You can't afford not to get a new dick.
That's right. That's BlueChew.com, promo code POA to receive your first month for free with only $5 shipping. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
Skew.
Who's going to take care of your family if something happens to you? What would they do without your income? If you don't have a plan, you need to go to GoliathLife.com. Get a quick quote from more than 20 carriers. You don't even have to leave the house. If you need a medical exam, they'll send somebody to your house or office. You're in total control. You pick the rates, you pick the payments, you pick the terms. You're in total control, but it gives you and your family peace of mind. What if something happens to your income? Hurry to GoliathLife.com.
All right, let's talk about dogs. Before we get into this, just because I just feel the need to do this because I know things will get said, I assume. It is a running joke amongst us.
In our
all of
private
our friends,
conversations.
all of our friends, it's a running joke that dogs do not hit for me.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal, okay? And I know in a previous episode I've already said that animals don't have souls and stuff, but whatever. Dogs don't not hit for me.
You're just not a dog guy.
I'm just not a dog person. I'm a cat person. I feel like that used to be fine.
It is fine.
It's not fine anymore. It's not fine. It's not fine.
What do you mean? Like it don't hit for people?
Dude, dog people.
No, dog people are fucked up.
They're lunatics. Dog people think.
That's true.
And so the
Okay,
reason,
but you know that I'm not. I'm a dog
The
person, but I'm
reason-
not like that.
I know, right? But a huge number of them are. The reason
Most,
I'm
honestly,
the
90%.
reason I'm doing this is because it's a running joke amongst us, and it's fine. But dude, if you say to other people who are not aware of the running joke, and Drew does this all the fucking
That's
time,
what I'm about to get into.
that Trae hates dogs without explaining that it's a joke or whatever else. Dude, people think you're a fucking monster.
Yes, I know.
Dog people do.
Yeah,
Okay.
Like,
Everybody
like,
does,
You don't
actually.
like
Yeah.
dog? They think you're dude, it's like barely above like pedophilia to dog people. You know what I mean? Like they think you
It
are
might be
Dude,
more.
but
They
you live
think-
in Burbank too,
Dude, because
So,
like at least.
people get crazy about their dogs out here in
I
California.
know, so I'm
and
saying
dude,
Hollywood
everywhere.
area.
So just
everywhere.
let the record show, dude, no one should mistreat dogs. Some dogs are awesome and cute. Some dogs get on my goddamn nerves. I don't hate dogs.
Yeah.
Dog people, bit much.
Okay.
But I
Trey-
don't hate dogs before we talk about all
Can
that.
Trey
I-
would throw these in a bag into
off
a river.
and hit him
we're
with a
gonna,
hammer.
Well, we're going to get into
So
that.
okay, but you know, you know how or before we're about to record, you said I'm gonna have to do this whole preface about the dog thing because I know what's gonna happen, and I go no, and you go no, we'll get into it. I was not gonna do that, and here's why. And you know this to fucking be true because you just brought it up. You go, Drew does this
All the time.
but. And you know this to be true. Don't you fucking dare act like it. Never in the history of our friendship. It's always been a private joke, but I have never publicly done what Drew did to you about dogs. And the reason that I don't is because I know what you're saying to be true. And I've never wanted to publicly say Trae don't like dogs because I knew what the fuck people were going to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, A, I don't want to put that on my best friend. And B, I don't want to be associated with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
you're
want
friends
all that
with a
because
dog
I'm gonna be fucking getting shrapnel. No, like they're gonna be shitting
Collateral
on him,
damage.
and because he's my best friend, I'm gonna have to be defending him. But it's gonna make me.
But
look
I'm a monster,
But
so how are you going to defend a monster
Right, that's what I'm saying.
publicly?
But it's gonna make me
It's like
look
defending
like
a Nazi or
right.
something.
That's
You're
what
an
I'm saying. But it's
apologist.
You
gonna
can't be a Nazi
because
sympathizer.
I understand the nuance of you just are not a dog person, but that doesn't mean that you're fucking like holding their head under a
No,
fucking
not at
water
all.
until
It's
you
just
stop seeing the fucking
people-
bubbles.
People are
but that's what they
so,
think.
So hardcore about dogs.
They care about
And
them
they-
more than they care about children,
and they
without
assume-
question.
And we're going to get into that too when we talk about rich people and dogs. But like I feel like dog people, they just have this assumption that everybody loves dogs the way they do, or
Yeah.
like their dog. They'll just let their dog be all up in your shit and stuff,
Yeah.
and they just assume you're loving it. And it's like, I'm not loving it.
You know what
right.
the worst?
Don't let your dog get in my shit, please.
Speaking of horrible dog owners, you know what the worst is? When you see like a very like frail woman with like a 180
That's
pound
already the
mastiff in public.
No,
and they're,
listen
and
to
they're
him, listen to
barely
him.
hanging on
Listen
to
to
that
him.
thing. And they're like, no, you don't understand. This one's friendly. This monster killing machine that's going to eat a baby on this walk.
Yeah.
Very friendly.
we
And then
just
once it
saw
eats
that.
your kid, what do you do? Like,
Yeah, right.
You can't punish them enough or sue them
Do you
enough.
remember? You remember we were shooting the sketch for Comedy Central, and that we were at that dog park.
Yeah.
and that small woman
Yes.
had a fucking Doberman there who she had no control over.
No, it was just running the
whatsoever.
fuck around.
And she was just kind of walking after it like, you know.
And who was the first person that said something? Me,
Cujo.
who's a dog person. I was like, this fucking ain't cool.
Stop. Oh, he's, you know, why? And you could tell the other like dog owners who had little dogs and stuff were fucking nervous. And I
Yes.
don't blame them.
I honestly think you should get jail time.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
For sure. It's
Just
assault
for
with a
even
deadly
doing
weapon.
that.
It's assault
A
with a deadly
fine.
weapon.
Yeah.
It's a fucking, they're maniacs.
They are. All right. So
I love them, and I maintain that there's most of the time, if there's a bad dog, most of the time
it's a bad owner.
it's a bad owner.
Yeah.
There are definitely situations where it's a shitty dog.
Right.
But I would say that like because honestly, I have like 5 or 6 buddies. All of them have pit bulls, but they're not like fucking pit bull owner type people. Sweetest fucking dog on earth. So I'm like, it's not the dog. It's that you fucking wanted this dog to scare people, so you put it in a fucking corner and like hit it with a slingshot. That'll do it to anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't buy into. I don't think that pit bulls are inherently bad or
They're
nothing
not.
like that. Again,
That's racist.
There's an overlap between the type of people.
It is racist.
A lot of the types of people who are super into pit bulls are also the type of people who want that pit bull to be a barely chained lunatic.
Yes.
Who's
true.
intimidating.
Because it's a gun with a pulse.
Exactly. Okay, so everybody loves dogs except for me, you know. But, so fun fact, dogs are way more popular than cats amongst the world's ultra rich, but come in second to what animal?
Hold on. So dogs are number 1.
No, they're not. They're number 2. The
Wait, hold on.
world-
Say what you just said again. I just kind of got fucked up.
Okay, the world's ultra rich, the list of their favorite animals.
Okay.
Dogs are way above cats, but dogs are not number 1. They're number 2.
Horses.
Yes, horses.
Yeah, okay, yeah, horses, for sure, yeah.
Obviously. After surveying 1,000 dog owners and 1,000 cat owners, Mars Pet Care, the people that did this study, found that dog owners are twice as likely to work in finance. Cat owners, on the other hand, are 4 times as likely to work in a creative field. So, see,
Wait.
I hit, you don't hit.
Oh, wait,
First
Trey,
off,
so you're a
by
cat
that,
person.
By that, you're assuming
I
that
said
would.
that earlier. I like cats. I've always liked
I like
cats.
fucking cats too. By the way, can I fucking say this? Because we're talking about dogs and cats. Did you see that fucking text I sent to the group earlier?
About what?
By mom.
Oh, she buried somebody's cat?
So, yeah.
Let's just move on. Leave it at
No,
that.
no, it's
I
fucking
know.
fine. No, it's fine. Like, mom called me the other day and she goes, did daddy tell you about Harvey? Harvey was her cat. And I go, no. And she goes, yeah, Harvey got hit by a car. And I was like, oh, mama, I'm so sorry. And she goes, yeah, your daddy don't think it's him, but it's him. So we buried him in the yard. And dad was like, mama was like, it's black and white. It's right on our street. And dad goes, I just don't think it's him. Like, he normally didn't do that. And she goes, it's him. And he goes, the dad's whole reason was, he goes, Bane, you can't this cat got hit so hard that it's foobar. Like, you can't recognize this cat. So mom was like, no, it's him. Mom cried, had a whole fucking like ceremony, buried this fucking cat. And then today, Harvey just showed back up at the house, like some pet cemetery shit. So I got a text from my mom that was a picture of her cat that just said, guess I buried the wrong cat, which is hilarious.
We've all been there.
Yeah. But I'm saying cats hit for me.
Right, yes.
And I'm not in finance.
I know. That's why I thought that was a fun fact,
Yeah.
because I figured you would be surprised by that.
Yeah, I
and
am.
also be like, I ain't it.
So most dog people are in finance?
I don't think it's that most dog
Because
people.
most people are dog people.
No, I know. Dog owners are more than twice as likely
Right.
to work in finance as cat owners are,
Right.
and cat owners are more than 4 times as likely to work in a creative
You know why I
field
think that is?
than dog owners
You know
are.
why I think that is? Cats are less maintenance, and creative people don't need to be. They just need a thing that can exist without them having to do anything.
You guys ever seen someone take their cat for a walk with a leash on?
Yes. Big Ed used to do it. Our comedian buddy, he had a leash for his cat, and he'd take it for a walk.
And the cat's like,
Yeah, no, his cat loved it. His cat acted like a dog.
I've never seen a cat enjoy that.
No, he hit for this cat. Go ahead.
All right, so I think rich people are particularly wild about dogs, I think, because they have the means to be so.
Yeah, they breed them. They play God.
They do wild shit with dogs, man. And but you know, we all know Paris Hilton's got a dog and a purse and all that shit. You know the rich people, they love they dogs, but because they're rich, they can do wild shit with them. You know what I mean? So there was I don't remember this person, but in the 80s there was like this famous like rich bitch
In the 80s?
Leona Helmsley was her name.
Leona-
You know what I'm talking about? Her? Yeah.
Oh, just a brutal old battle axe.
Yeah,
of
they called they called her
Battle axe.
yeah.
What did she do?
She was called the Queen of Mean. I think she was married to like a real estate magnate, and then
So
she did a
she
bunch of
just
real
was
estate shit
socialite?
too. Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
but anyway, so the Queen of Mean.
Can we do a whole episode on socialites?
Yeah.
Okay.
She personified the 80s stereotype of greed and excess. Anyway, when she died, she made her dog, a Maltese named Trouble, her primary heir, leaving a $12 million trust fund for the dog in a will that disinherits 2 grandchildren and doesn't even mention her great-grandchildren.
What a cunt. You're right. A battle axe.
Wait. So what happens when the dog dies?
Right.
Well, I
2
don't.
years
Does the
later.
dog make a will?
So let's skip ahead a little bit. Let me find it. I'll come back to this article in a second. Since y'all said that, I also found there's according to the richest dog on earth.
Air Bud. It has to be.
You would think so. Yeah,
Wishbone, Eddie.
He's still getting all them royalty checks.
Yeah.
No, it's just some German shepherd named Gunther the Third. Gunther the Third, who inherited $65 million
Jesus.
when his owner, the late German Countess Carlotta Liebenstein, died in 1992.
She sounds like a kind woman.
So to answer your question, the humans who managed his doggy estate eventually invested Gunther's money and turned it into $375 million, which was then passed on to Gunther's son, Gunther the Fourth. So it just gets passed down through the doggy lineage. Gunther the Fourth and his team of handlers have used that money. Gunther has used that money, to snatch up mansion, put it all in milk bones.
Yeah,
Can I invest in butt smell? How's that work? I'm a dog. Anyway, Gunther the Fourth.
How much to lick everyone's nuts?
Yeah, I mean $375 million to give you. Tell them I got it. However much it is. Tell them I got it. I'm Gunther Foe, motherfucker. Gunther Foe. Anyway, now
The only dog I know that has like the 4th or 5th is like I'm a Georgia fan, so like there's Uga.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like they serve a purpose.
So this fucking dog owns Madonna's old mansion.
What?
Yes. She sold her mansion to a dog.
She like
I don't know that it doesn't say that. It's a mansion she used to live in that is now owned by Gunther Foe. He owns it. And he is the world's richest dog.
Okay, so when you first said like, yeah, I've heard every now and then sometimes people are like, I'm leaving all my money to my dog because it's mostly like a dude who's like, fuck my wife. You know, I'm leaving all my money to my dog. But it never occurred to me that then that dog would go on to like make investments.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I never considered that.
Dog made a lot of good moves, you know, in the real
Smart.
estate. Yeah, right.
Fucking got into fucking Bitcoin and shit.
Yeah, according to this study, rich people who lavish money on their pets spend $328,000 annually on average on their pets.
$328,000.
Yes. So this is based on a survey this guy did of 304 rich families who are all self-described pet lovers, right? 46% of whom say their love is singularly focused on their own pets, and the rest are animal lovers in general. These people have an average net worth of $46.7 million. The biggest spending area is life enrichment services for the dogs, which includes everything from deep muscle massage. Pet masseuses can make up to $2,000 an hour.
What?
As well as psychic readings, life coaching, and cosmic sensitivity.
Okay. Let me tell you, because like speaking from the place of a dog lover, okay, and you know, my dog Palmer, who passed away earlier this year or earlier last year, and it was literally the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life. To preface how much I love dogs, when my grandmother, who I lived with pretty much and I love more than anything in the world, when she died, 3 days later, I wrote an entire chapter of a book about her when I still to this day haven't been able to write one paragraph about my dog. Because that's how much it. I know.
It's only funny because you're comparing it to your grandmother.
I know.
Who I know you love
Of
dearly.
course, I know.
Right.
And I know that I'd loved her more than him, but for some reason it's just harder. It's just weirder. I don't fucking know. My point is, I fucking love my dog. All right. I loved my dog, and he got the best pet food that you could get at the regular pet food store. And whenever, like, I told Amber a million times, is like, and she used to get mad at me. I said, if we were ever in a situation where something happened to Palmer and we went to the vet and they told me he's going to die unless you get him this surgery, and this surgery costs $15,000 and there's still only a 50-50 chance, I go, I would 100% do it. My point is to say all this. I don't know what I would spend $375,000 on for this fucking dog who I love.
Well, so we covered some of it. They got to get cosmic sensitivity and life coaching. That's pretty important and expensive because, otherwise they might not know what their fucking sign is.
Well, they have to know how to spend the money they invest.
Yeah, right. Financial literacy training for dogs.
Yeah.
Seems like that's what they should be doing. Yep. How's a dog cosmically sensitive? You know what I mean?
I would think that a dog...
Mercury's in retrograde, so I'm not going to lick my own asshole today.
I mean, to me, I would just assume that, like, of all things that were cosmically sensitive, animals already naturally were that.
Yeah.
Like, me and you need cosmic training, whereas animals have that innately.
So 1/3 of these people also have personal chefs for their dogs. I'm not saying they employ the personal chef only for the dog, but
their personal chef be doing dog
feeds
stuff.
the dog. The dog eats food cooked by a personal chef that they pay for.
I said on the last episode, the Queen does that shit.
More than 1/4 of these owners from this survey said they spend $25,000 or more on wardrobes for their pets. So you gotta get pet clothes.
I bought sweaters for mine, but like they were $10.
16% of these rich dog owners spend $25,000 or more on their pet's birthday party. Several of the pets regularly fly around on private jets alone.
Alone?
Except for the flight crew.
Right.
Except for the pilots. But the dog just takes a plane.
What do you think the flight crew is talking
Thinking
about
while
on that?
whatever the fuck they want.
Right,
because it's a dog.
Just a dog.
And he ain't gonna know what they're saying because he's a fucking dog. They can talk as much shit about that rich dog as they want to. So listen, dogs. I don't have too much more to say before we get into History Professor Cho. I was talking about the exorbitant things they spend on for their dogs. It's inherited.
Inheritive.
You inherit something. Inheritance.
Inheritance.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
I couldn't
fucking
make that
idiot.
word. Inheritance. Inheritances for dogs is a big thing now. These people make trust and leave money to their dogs, and it just hits for them. People do that. But anyway, I also had a dog hotel video, but frankly, we already talked about a lot of it. They show a dog getting massaged and all that stuff, and it's just silly. They get their own queen size bed and a TV to watch. I don't know.
Do the dogs lay there and willingly get the massage? Because it just seems like a dog would be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
No, hell, it's like heavy petting.
Right. Give me a sec. I'll pull the video up. We can just watch it quick.
The dog getting massaged? Oh, I'd fucking love that. Yeah, please.
When you get the video pulled up, you can just kind of like click to like sort of the. I don't even want to watch the whole thing. The dog getting.
That's how much he fucking hates
fucking
dogs. He's like, I don't want to watch this dog
Yeah.
enjoying himself. Fuck
just,
that.
So I keep getting fur in my mouth.
I'm very itchy in this jacket.
Yeah, I'm hot too, but that's okay.
You think they complain about that shit in Russia?
No, absolutely not.
No, hell no.
Itch, at least I feel something, you know? Yes, thank God. It's not just the frigid cold and a
And you guys
backhand.
can just talk while, obviously, but.
All right, so you see
Look at this
Baxter
buddy.
here getting pulled up in a Lambo going to the dog hotel.
Lambo's hit, by the way.
This is, of course, in Los Angeles. Hollywood.
Oh, it's the wealthy dog owners. Here's have. Oh, while they're hard at work. Yeah, I'm sure they're real hard at work. Oh. Oh, that looked like my
love
little
it.
bud.
Oh yeah.
Well, that looks like
yeah.
that hits
This is gonna
real
be- this is
hard.
gonna be
Hell
happy
yeah.
ending.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
You know, it's just like
It's good technique.
being
Look at that.
petted.
I mean,
but then
hell,
the hitting
I
their
did
way.
that for my dog. Like, I would pet my dog hardcore like that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do
Love
the
on him.
prostate too. You know.
But I wouldn't
gotta
charge
get. No, I know that's
Oh,
the
they
thing.
they
in there.
express their anal glands. Yeah, DJ's wife Dre does that.
Yeah.
She expresses. She would tell me all the time. She goes, "Hey, do you need me to come over and express Palmer's anal glands?" I'm like, he's expressing them pretty good. Like, I don't think we need to do that shit.
I ain't trying to do that.
Fuck no, dude. That's
Finger a
gross.
dog's butthole.
Stank.
Stank. Hell yeah,
Yeah,
stank.
stank.
Anal
Ugh.
glands don't hit.
Anal glands do not hit.
Fucking poking a dog's butt.
Mm-mm.
That ain't it. So
My dog was raped, by the way.
By
By
a
what?
dog.
I don't know his butt. When I first got him, his butthole was real huge, and we just
So you just you're
It was-
assuming the dog was right.
he was a street dog, and we just assumed that the backstory that I created for him was that he was in a neighborhood, and we found him. It was super cold, and here's the backstory I created for him. He was an old lady's dog, and the old lady died, and the family was like, yeah, fuck this dog, and they just let him out, and then he was roaming the streets, and then some miscreant that lived in that neighborhood
Raped
fucked
his
my
butt?
dog. His butt was huge. His butthole was huge, and
There's
then
probably other reasons for that other than
it
just
got
getting
unhuge
right?
after.
No way.
No,
There's only one reason.
no, no. It's not only that, by the way. When I first got Palmer, every time I would go to, like, when you would pet him, if you would get near his butt, he would.
Yeah, because he had a big not-hitting butthole.
I know, because he was raped in it, and then. But after a while of him not being raped, he decided it's fine, and his butthole got smaller, and then he would let us pet him on his butt.
God damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Have I never told you that?
Wait, no.
Yeah, my dog was definitely
I was going to
raped.
say shockingly no, but actually it's not shocking. This happens with you all the time.
Yeah.
All the time you'll say some shit that's like, how in 10 years of friendship has that never come up? But that happens every goddamn day with you. Oh, you didn't know about that? Yeah. Kind of weird. Anyway, fuck. So that kind of I bet you do got some dog fucking sons of bitches around there maybe. in
Absolutely.
Chickamauga. So that leads to, that we talked about fancy people with dogs, rednecks with dogs. Let's do a little bit. We kind of, whatever, running long on time. I just wanted to talk about how.
No, please go into the rednecks with dogs.
So I used to have a bit about it, and it's very true. Like growing up
I
in
quoted this to
Salina-
my dad the other day.
Growing
It's
up
my
in-
dad's favorite bit of yours.
Growing up in Salina, like dogs were a very. I feel like at least in the rural South and in the 90s, dogs were a very different thing.
Yeah,
than
they
are
were.
now.
They were.
Meaning, like they were mostly outside.
Yeah.
All these
They were
shots
the-
and
yeah.
shit you get for them.
Yeah.
What is that?
No,
That ain't
it. No.
Like I used to say, is like people talk about taking the dog to the vet. It's like the dog did not go to the vet. The vet was for fucking cows, shit that
Right
made
on.
you money. You know
Right.
what I mean? The dog didn't do shit. And if your dog died, you just and you needed a new dog, you just got in the truck and drove around
Until you saw a box of dogs. My dad's favorite line of
that
yours.
somebody had set out in a parking lot
Yeah.
somewhere and bam,
So true.
free dog. It's so true.
Yeah.
And Russ said earlier, people also be throwing dogs off of bridges and
Yeah.
stuff. Sometimes you got extra dogs, you don't know what else to do with them. You get cats too.
Yeah.
Put them in a sack, throw them over a bridge.
I love how-
never threw one off a bridge.
I love how
didn't. I
that-
never participated
It never
in that
crossed
at all,
their mind
but
to just leave the dog near the bridge.
yeah, they
And
did that
see
too.
if I know, but like
if the dog would kill itself.
no, no, but what I'm saying is like, it's like there was a
Maybe it'll just jump off. That would
there's
hit
a
for me.
dude. There's a
Here's
dude.
Corey's house in Georgia.
There's a dude
Yeah.
where I live, and I'm not going to say whose papaw he is because I don't want to like put any bad juju on people, but there's a papaw where I'm from, and he was very famous for, he had a bunch of dogs running around his house, and of course he didn't like go get them neutered
Hang on, look at that redneck dog up there. You see
with a
it?
rebel flag.
I look at no, I'm talking about in the picture.
Oh, I love that fucking picture.
A dog just like, yeah, well, if we evolved from wolves, why is there still wolves then?
It's the-
Tell me that, goddammit.
That is, I'm not kidding. That with that caption is 100% my favorite meme that has ever been. That dog saying, if we evolved from wolves, then why they're still wolves is the funniest shit anyone on the internet has ever done, and I'm including you. Like, it's so fucking funny.
Internet's funny.
So what was the guy? I'm sorry.
So there was a
that
papaw.
clean slated me. Yeah,
and he
Papaw.
was pretty famous for,
shooting dogs.
honest to God, Trey, I wish. I wish
What
that
was
he had shot the
doing to
dog.
him?
So he had dogs because he was he hunted and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But he would never go down and get them neutered because that would be taking a dog to a thing to do a thing. Like, that ain't
You
it.
didn't do that. Ain't
So
it?
these dogs would constantly be just like having puppies on his land, and he didn't want the puppies. So he wouldn't shoot them, which again would be kind of humane. What he would do was
It's about to be gnarly, ain't it?
he would put them in a burlap sack,
Yes.
and he would hit
Yeah.
them with a hammer until, and I quote, you stop hearing them whimper.
God damn.
And it wasn't like he did that one time and then was affected by that. Happened a lot. Like, it was a thing. He's like, yeah, you just put them in a bag. You
said
hit
it.
them with a hammer.
You said burlap sack, and I thought
Throw 'em
now,
off a bridge.
Throw them off a bridge. That's
Yeah,
the
which
typical
would have been
go-to.
more humane.
So, having said all of that, I hope I don't regret doing this just because I don't want to spoil it. That's why, but I'm still going to do it. I'm going to tell y'all now. Corey knows I've for a long time had this idea for a short sketch
Which we could get made.
that
We-
I'm dying to do at some point. And if this, if y'all ever
That's
see
proof
it,
of concept.
if
right
y'all
here.
ever see it, you'll be like, oh, I remember when Trae talked about this. So it'll still hit for
on
you.
the airstream.
It actually started as a proposed scene in the pilot we wrote, and for some reason our showrunner wasn't into it.
They were like, we don't think ABC would be into this.
So what? But then it was like, we could do it as a sketch then, maybe at the opening of a special or something. What happens is
we did want to do it at
there's
the
a
opening of a
hippie-
special.
It's a sketch. This like hippie, lesbian,
Crunchy,
hippie, crunchy,
lesbian,
lesbian,
yeah.
I haven't heard
Type
that
of
one yet.
woman.
Lesbian,
Burns is
that's a
good.
redneck
Lesbian.
lesbian.
She's-
A lesbian.
yeah.
She's
Lesbian.
Drives
Oh.
a truck, eats pussy.
She's a little lost. And she's in like rural Tennessee, and the conceit is she's on the way to come to our stand-up show.
yeah, right.
She's
as
pulled
they
over,
do.
pulled over at a gas station in like my hometown or whatever, and over beside the gas station by an overpass, there's a redneck sitting by his truck with a box of dogs, and it says free dogs,
box of dogs.
free dogs on the thing. So
Yeah.
she walks up like, what's going on, whatever, and he's got these little puppies and they're all cute and stuff. He's like, yeah, I ain't got nothing to do with them. You want a dog, whatever, take it. Where you going? I'm going to see these guys. Oh, I don't like those queers, whatever. All that thing. And then she's like, okay, well, and she does some like judgy shit, like, you sure you should be doing this, whatever. He's like, go fuck yourself. You don't hit, whatever.
Yeah.
That happened. That's like 15, 20 seconds. And then she's like, well, and he's like, you gonna take one or what? She's like, well, no, I can't take a dog. Thank you. And then she just turns to leave, and he looks at his watch and he goes, well, guess it's about time to call it. And he stands up, picks up the box and throws it over the bridge. And you just see the puppies fall out of it, and he throws it off the bridge, and then he gets in the truck and says, say hi to the queers for me, honk, honk, and then rolls Cole out, just puts the black smoke all over, leaves her standing there in smoke, choking on it as he hauls ass out of there with
Rolls
a Confederate,
Cole.
rolls Cole with a Confederate flag sticker on the back of his truck. And that's my white whale of sketch idea.
The credits
And
roll
Trae-
as you
and
hear
Trae-
the gargling of puppies in a river.
And Trae giggled.
Well, I'll time to call it. All right. Just throws him back over his head like that.
I tried. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, nobody wants them.
Oh my fucking
So
god!
that's it. I ain't got
Again,
nothing else
that's
to say
where
about-
I'm at as
about
a dog
dogs.
lover. Is that I love dogs more than anything in the world, and that still hits for me. And it blows my mind that there's people out there that can't separate the two.
Yeah, we wouldn't
thing.
really do it, obviously.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
No animals.
But like,
be-
yeah,
I just mean we'd fake it. CGI
No, I-
puppies, they're little dummy puppies. or
yeah,
whatever.
of course. But like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Okay.
Pete'd be all over that. And by the way, fuck Peter.
Peter don't
Can I
hit.
say Peter don't hit?
Peter don't hit. Peter Bread hits.
Oh my
Peter
God,
Bread does
we're-
hit.
we are so canceled.
Oh yeah, we're definitely
Polish
canceled.
pitas.
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
all
you know,
coming
if we've
after us.
made it 11 episodes
Dog
in,
people.
yeah, we're good. Actually, but that's the thing though. This would be the one where like we could say fucking almost anything in the world.
People are gonna be furious with me.
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
could say they will go past all the fucking like making fun of like Polish people
Yeah.
and everything and be like, I can't believe what you said about dogs
Yeah.
that you were kidding about.
For sure.
Yeah,
no, but I mean,
for
dogs
sure.
are better than Polish people, though.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah, that was Russ, by the way. If everybody didn't know, he said that. Yeah.
We'll be right back after this with History of Professor Joe. Y'all, CBD's all the rage right now, and for good reason. And listen, here's the deal. CBD is not about what you feel. It's about what you don't feel. Things like stress, anxiety, pain. And now Feels, Feals, is a better way to feel better. Feels is a premium CBD that will help you keep your head clear and feel your best. It's hassle-free, delivered directly to your door. CBD naturally helps to reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness with no hangover or addiction. You place a few drops of Feels under your tongue, you feel the difference within minutes. And in fact, the important thing to remember about CBD is that you need to find the right dose that works for you. And don't worry about it, because Feels offers a free CBD hotline to help guide your personal experience so that you can find your perfect dose. Feels CBD is great. Cho, you have a lot of personal experience with it, do you not?
I absolutely do. Feels is just a part of my daily routine now. I don't go a day without it. I used to think that, like, oh, well, being just stressed out and freaking out all the time, that's just kind of my deal. But now that's not the case, because here's a couple things. It's just the same as you brush your teeth, right? You brush your teeth, you take a shower, you put on your pants, you squeeze your big ass balls into them pants. These are just things you do in your daily life. Well, just add Feels CBD to that routine. It should be as important to you as cleaning your skin, son. I'm telling you, like, just add it to the routine and everything's good as gold.
Well, you heard it right there. Joining the Feels monthly membership makes your self-care easy. You'll save money on every order, and you can pause or cancel at any time. So it's time to start feeling better with Feels. Become a member today by going to feels.com/POA, and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That's FEALS.com/POA to become a member and get 50% automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. Feels.com/POA. Start feeling better with Feels. We appreciate them sponsoring the podcast.
Do it. It feels good. Skew.
Are you feeling stuck making minimum payments on your credit card debt? SaveWithConrad.com can help, and you don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket to do this. NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. Oh, and did I mention no house payments for 2 months? Get rid of your credit card debt and lower your monthly payments right now at SaveWithConrad.com.
And we're back.
Hey, here we are.
All right, time for History of Professor Cho on the... Okay, now this one... All right, it's Anastasia.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you.
Cartoon about that, right?
Yeah, there was a cartoon about that we all watched as a kid.
So I don't remember that cartoon, and also I don't... You know, I always do the thing right here where it's like, I'm going to tell you what I already know about this before you get started. I don't think I know really anything at all about Anastasia. She was
lucky
like
for you, I
Russian
fucking don't
royalty,
either. Yeah.
Russian royalty, and
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that you don't know anything about
Yeah,
her.
me too.
I don't
That
know
actually kind of
anything.
shocked me because
I
you've got
don't.
kids, and
I
I know
don't,
that, like,
but-
if your kid's not watched Anastasia and shit like that.
I don't think Anastasia's got staying power.
No, it doesn't. I mean, and first off, it's like,
You know what I mean? It's not like a touchstone people go back to show
No.
their kids. I can't tell you the last time I've thought of that movie.
that's
even.
kind of why it's like one of the, like, there's like 4 Disney animated movies that
Is
maybe.
It's
It's Disney.
Disney or
Yeah, it's
what
Disney.
was the one?
No, it's Disney.
Okay, that's fine. There was one about a princess that was made in the 90s that wasn't Disney. It was somebody that left Disney to make. Yeah, no, it's Don Bluth who he made a bunch of other shit. Sorry. Don Bluth is the guy who did Anastasia.
Oh, it
And-
wasn't Disney?
No, it was,
What was it?
20th Century Fox.
Oh,
I thought that
well,
was,
there you go.
yeah.
I mean, that's why it didn't hit.
Yeah.
Like, if it had been the same movie but had been made by Disney, it would have been shoved down our throats and shit. And, like, we would have, like... But I know that, like, in that movie, it was a very, like, oh, yeah, it was like a... Obviously, if they're doing it for a children's, like, Disney-esque type movie, it's like, yeah, this is a great story of, like...
Is his brother Mitt Romney?
Looks like it. Don Bluth.
Yeah, he made a bunch of. He was like he worked for Disney and then he left and he did a lot of his own shit. Secret of Nim, that movie hits.
Oh yeah, that movie does hit.
That was one of my favorites growing up. I read the book like 20 times. Yeah.
No, Don Bluth hits. And he was like with Disney and then left and did his own thing.
The Russians are kind of wild because like it's like nowadays when you think about the Russians, it's exclusively like it's just pain and sorrow and like nothing hits and like Putin and shit like that.
Dark gray.
Bears.
Yeah, right. But like they were like, you know, a huge power in the world, and like, you know, they had a monarchy, they had czars and shit, which like I don't know where you're at on like don't you think that czar, like the word czar just kind of like sounds like a more powerful, like that sounds more powerful than like king. Like king is like, yeah, he's the king, right? But czar sounds like king, when I hear king,
you don't
I'm
fuck
like,
with that motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. When you hear king, you're like, he could be a good king, but a czar is like, there's no such thing as a good czar. Like a czar is like,
there probably were, right? At least some, but I know what you mean. It sounds like synonymous with tyrant.
Yeah,
or
that's what I'm
despot
saying. Dictator.
Like
Czar
that.
sounds like dictator or something like that. But apparently, like, you know, like
you ever think about that dictator is
dictator? Yes,
because that hits.
All the time.
Yeah.
I think
it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny that word, people just use that word all the time and we don't ever stop and say, it's like that word is dick and tater put together, which is funny to think
it's
about.
It's so funny. I always think about the movie.
That's a great point.
The movie Bring It On. Because they're like, this is not a cheerocracy. This is a cheer-tatership. I am a cheer-tater. And that was the first time when they broke it down like that, I heard the word tater.
Yeah.
And then I go, dictator. And I go, tater. Dictator. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Like, dictator sounds like he would be the mayor of an Alabama town or something like that.
Yeah.
But, like, apparently back then, like, Tsar Nicholas, who was the head of the Romanov family. And by the way, this is the most... First off, everybody that listens to the show probably is like, yeah, we do not come here for actual history lessons. But this is probably the episode the most where I'm up my own ass and don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because I just watched a bunch of shit and now I'm sort of like drunk history retelling it or whatever. But Tsar Nicholas kind of did. There he is. Yeah. Tsar Nicholas seemed like kind of a good dude, I guess, even though, like, again, I'd always heard Tsar Nicholas and I'm like, that means dickhead Nicholas. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
old dickhead Nicholas.
Old dickhead Nicholas.
Right.
But he apparently like wasn't really that bad of a dude, but like they were like living in like opulence and wealth because like they were a monarchy, but they were the Russian monarchy. And then like the whole fucking like Russia just like stopped hitting. You know, like I guess their economy just stopped hitting and they just got like took over by like icebergs and bears or whatever it is that.
So that was new? Their economy had been hidden
up until
I didn't realize that they ever hit. Really,
well, they
I thought
had
it was
a
just
czar.
full of like, well, dude, any fucking third world countries have rulers who have certain titles. I mean, they were like just having a ruler doesn't mean anything.
They were hitting to the extent that the Bolshevik Revolution was necessary in that like. Things had been one way for a certain point, and then when Vladimir Lenin and them started this whole thing, they were like, okay, it's gotten to a point where like we're all starving,
right?
And the monarch, but
that's like I'm saying that sounds to me like things had been not hitting for a long time, and then Lenin was like, man, things don't hit.
I know,
we should do something.
I know,
different.
but my point is
that
they did used to hit. To the point where, like, then it was like it stopped hitting, and
that's why people got upset.
Yeah, and like I don't know if maybe I'm fucking stupid, but like I did not know that Vladimir Lenin was around in the same time of the Romanov family. Like I didn't realize that like when I think of Anastasia, I think of like 1800s and stuff like that, but it was like World War II. You know what I'm saying?
Who's the family that they got all murdered and stuff?
Them, the Romanov family.
Yeah.
Them. Yeah. It was them.
And did she like somehow escape that fate?
So that's like a fucking theory or some shit.
Yeah,
which is what the movie is about. The movie, the I'm pretty sure I'm probably about to get caught.
They was ones fucking with that Rasputin motherfucker.
Yes.
Wild cat.
Wild motherfucker.
Big old dick.
Huge.
Big old dick.
Not only was his dick huge, they like it still exists. Like
apparently that is like a an urban legend or myth. I know that I've seen the picture of the thing you're talking about. Apparently, that is not actually his dick.
Well, there's a lot of this situation
kielbasa.
that's just like kind of bullshit or whatever. But like I think in the Disney, not Disney movie, but like the Disney, that looks like Trump.
It does kind of look like a little dude.
That looks like Trump.
Which
is that Anastasia?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, here's the whole situation with them is that like the Bolshevik Revolution happens, and it's in like the World
20
War
something.
Yeah, like 1912 is when it kind of like all started with World War I, and then it leads into World War II or some shit like that. And like,
well, World War One, they've just about every one of them died, right?
Yes. But like, I think from what
they went through some shit, dog.
dude, it's unbelievable. Like, you like we think about this is another thing we're talking about. Like, we think about like we have 9/11. Right.
They do, and it don't hit.
No, and 9/11 don't hit. Said it. We'll say it again.
Don't
now,
hit.
Granted, we were like, 9/11. Well, that's the one time there was actually an attack on America. Was like, well, Pearl Harbor has to count. It's just that's not the continental United States, so we don't think about it as much because that's like way over there. But like we think about like 9/11 is such a. This is the one time there was actually a bombing or attack like on this country. But like in World War II, like London stayed getting bombed
all the time.
Like over there, that like it's kind of impressive that America has just not gotten bombed as much as people fucking hate us. It's only happened.
That's what happens when you got all the tanks and boats and shit.
I know, and that's
do something. I wish a motherfucker would bomb us. Dog.
That's kind of what I wanted to say. Is like
that's how it is. I don't wish we
bomb
would.
us.
No, I don't wish a motherfucker would.
No,
I'm saying the general sort of defense stance of this country is sort of wish a motherfucker would.
Yeah,
true.
It's like, please try some shit.
Like,
that's what our military just looking at the rest of the world saying. Please,
but like,
please try some shit. We've been dying to use all these fucking boats and tanks and stuff.
That's kind of true.
I know it's true.
So like,
ain't nobody want to do. They don't want this smoke.
Pseudo intellectual people, and like I'm gonna like point the camera at Aaron Sorkin right now with like that famous newsroom clip where fucking
we're not the greatest country in the
world.
world.
We're not the greatest country in the world, and like. I hear that and I go, yeah, you're right. Like we are lowest in education. I go, we just say that we're the best country in the world, but that doesn't really mean that we are. But then when you do think about stuff like how much people really hate us, but the fact that like London stayed getting bombed, Russia got fucking decimated, and none of that really ever happens to us, I'm like, I don't know, scoreboard. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he in that newsroom scene, he does acknowledge. He says, you know, the only thing we're in first place in is defense spending, and we're closer than, and we spend more than 26 of the next 26 countries combined, 25 of which are allies. So, and it's like him being like, and that's stupid. And we do spend way too much money on defense, but it's also like, I'm kind of like, you can't just brush that off, dude. I don't like that because of what we're saying.
Yeah,
people talk about the national debt. We have all this debt to China and stuff, and it's like, yeah, but we use that money to build more tanks and shit. Like, what are they gonna do?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like
they have. China and Russia has some.
No.
Russia or China, and they're both communists.
I'm just saying, we do spend a lot of money on defense, but like, I think spending money on defense is one thing. Like, we should just not spend money on sending people to Afghanistan and Iraq and all those things.
The DOD don't hit. We spend way too much money and it's all fucking bullshit. And I'm not for it.
But what I'm saying is it clearly works.
I know,
is what I'm saying.
I agree.
So if it clearly works, then I can't say we're spending too much money on it because it clearly works. My thing is like spending money on defense. I'm like, yeah, protect us here, but going out on the offense is where I'm like, there's no but it's like, well, but fucking oil, and that's where we get the money to spend all the money on defense and shit like that. Like, I don't know. My point is, like, you are correct. Like, they just, like, during World War I and World War II, Europe just was fucking.
But Russia in particular,
they got decimated.
It was something like, I don't know, a huge percentage of every male between the age of 17 and 34. Like, they almost didn't have no people to fuck to make more Russian kids. It was like, huge, decimated
and
their
now
population.
and now
probably worse than decimated if you're being literal, because decimated means a tenth.
Right.
And it was probably more than that.
Because like again,
know,
like
but I
they
bet
don't.
it
And
was.
there's our Nicholas. They're like they don't even have like.
Oh yeah, I've seen that motherfucker.
Like London and shit got bombed during World War II and stuff, but like they still clearly have the monarchy, like all that. Like they don't have that shit anymore.
That's where keep calm and carry on comes from.
Right? Yeah, you're right.
The bombings in London. That's what that meant. So it's funny that it's like Hallmark cards and shit now. It's like, keep calm and get back on Twitter. You know, kick all the fucking trivial shit that
That's
they use
like
it
one
for.
of the earliest. One of the earliest, I guess, first world memes or something like that. Like it became a meme.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, like so. Russia and them, like, shit's going bad, like, their economy's fucking tanking, and then, again, like, sincerely, like, I hear about Vladimir Lenin and the communist shit in Russia, and, like, it didn't occur to me that that was happening concurrently with Tsar Nicholas and, like, Anastasia and all that, because that just seems, like, so very, like, Henry VIII era type stuff to me, but it wasn't. And so... all this bullshit's happening. Lenin's going around and preaching communism and blah 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 blah. Which, like, you know, it's a complicated relationship with communism because, like, in some ways you go, well, I mean, look, we should all help each other out and stuff like that. But then you look at Russia, where like Lenin was in, like, you're like, is that what happens? I don't know about that.
Yeah, not to get into like political discourse, but that's always been my main thing with it too, is it's like socialism sounds cool and a lot of socialist things I am in favor of, but like you said, most of the communist examples in the real world we have, like, did not hit. And I think it's because a system can be theoretically great. Right. But people are inherently corrupt and sorry, and they'll fuck it up. And I think that's just what happens.
Well, and also,
but
like,
anyway,
I think to defend it a little bit, like, you're looking at a situation where communism came into a thing after, like, when something had been, as I said, decimated, and they were having to build something from the fucking ground up. And, like, then it's like, yeah, well, it didn't hit at all with what they were doing, so why would even changing something kind of hit, because things just fucking didn't hit. But there was Lenin saying all this shit, and then there was the Bolshevik Revolution, which basically, you know, the Tsar Nicholas, like, stepped down, like, he abdicated. Like, he was just like, okay, like, you're right, like... we have a lot of opulent wealth and like all this bullshit's going on, and clearly like the monarch is not something that you should do, and like maybe I'll step aside. But like the people were just like already fed up with it, and then like the Bolshevik Revolution, which I think means the October Revolution. Okay, it's Bolshevik. Bolshevik means.
I mean, I think that's how it's spelled.
Yeah, it means sure like the October. Is that what it means, Russ? The October Revolution. They like. Basically, what happened was it was a coup d'etat. You know, it was a coup d'etat in which they convinced Tsar Nicholas, I think, that like, hey man, like we're gonna take you to safety. Yeah, like we're gonna get you out, and like, and he's like, cool, yes, awesome. Like I would love to be safe. That'd be awesome. And they take him to this like fucking cellar or some shit, and he's like, oh, say we're good, and they're like, yeah,
seems
we're good.
Like a pretty safe cellar.
They're like, yeah, we're good, and then they just machine gunned his whole family. So
probably lucky that it was machine gunned, as opposed to just like
slitting their throats.
Release
and like,
bear.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Sit you adrift on the iceberg.
Yes. Bear trained to rape.
Yes.
Release him to room. You know, could have been way worse, dude.
So they.
Get machine gun don't hit.
No, get machine gun, but it is pretty instant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like you think about Russia today, and you're like, Vladimir Putin would not machine gun somebody.
No.
He does stay throwing people out of windows.
Yeah. Defenestrating them. That's for him.
Is that what defenestrating means?
Yeah, throwing somebody out of a window.
That's what defenestrating means?
What? Yeah.
Oh, that's great. What a great word.
Oh, my God. Talk about...
I'm a big fan of that word because it's a funny thing to...
And
it's a funny thing for there to be a word for it.
Yeah.
What is it? Say it again.
Defenestrate?
Yeah.
I feel this is an educational podcast at this point.
Apparently,
so yeah, Putin, he had defenestrating ass motherfucker.
Every now and then, about defenestrate these people.
He's time to defenestrate.
This journalist
really don't hear from him, dude.
This journalist, he said a thing which is true,
but does not hit for me.
Yeah.
Find nearest window.
Yeah.
Place bear underneath window.
Just in case. With mouth open.
Yes.
Trained to rape.
To rape.
Yes. Yes, what he said was true, but the truth that is the furthest from what hits for me. So so they annihilate their entire family, and what the whole thing of like, is this girl alive, came from years later when they like.
So they were all in the room together. They all got machine
the
guns.
whole
together.
family's in the room together. They all make a
Okay.
machine gun. But then like in later years when they excavate the room and like actually go through and get the bones and like are trying to figure out and doing their like fucking like CSI Russia shit or whatever the fuck it is they're doing, they noticed that like they did a count and they were like, wait, here's Tsar Nicholas, here's the wife, they had 7 kids, there's 5 kids here. 2 kids are not here. And they're like, okay, like, did they take them? Did Rasputin fucking do some wild, like what happened?
These kids?
And around, those kids. And around that time when all this was getting found out, there had been talks of this little girl who had turned up in an insane asylum in Russia and had no idea who she was and what, but the only way that they were able to tell like even a little bit who she was, she had a Russian accent and she like had no idea what was going on. And then another kid around her age comes into the insane asylum, sees her and like bows down, like recognized her and was like, this is Anastasia. She is the queen of the bears, like whatever. And so they were like, oh shit, this might be. And now it turns out it was just probably a lunatic kid. And
Which one? Both of them?
Both of them. Yeah, it's probably just 2 lunatic kids. And like,
Yeah,
I don't know
you'll
what
have that.
happened. I don't know what happened to her bones, but like, there's no fucking way that like a 13-year-old girl
the bones
escaped.
thing, that would have had to have come later, right?
Yeah.
So like she disappeared, and then this lunatic feral Russian kid comes out of the woods and gets bowed to by another lunatic feral Russian kid, and people are like, that might be Anastasia. But then years later, they go and check bones, and they're like, oh shit, her bones ain't here. Maybe that lunatic was her.
Right. Yeah. It was kind of that. And there's Rasputin, who like, in the movie, he was portrayed as a complete evil person. And if you read history, it's like, I don't know, he was kind of just like an eccentric human being. And he was like, they trusted him for like mystic, they thought he had mystic powers.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. What it was really is that Rasputin was all day, every day on morphine, cocaine, and opium.
That'll do it.
And he gave Tsar Nicholas and all them cocaine, morphine, and opium.
So he was hooking it up.
He was hooking it up, but like,
Look at that motherfucker.
why wouldn't
Wow.
you? If a dude who was on all that shit, talking some wild shit, then gives you that cocktail and then starts telling you
He
stuff.
also just looks like a fucking warlock.
Yeah, he does.
He's
Like
6'4".
But that's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't you think that this guy has mystical powers?
Right.
So like,
Especially back then, people still dumb as fuck. They all thought witches was real and shit. So.
yeah. So like, there was a lot of claims that Rasputin may have like taken some liberties with the kids. That guy.
Surely
Yeah.
not that guy.
But
Yeah, you were just talking about how he's like a complicated figure. You're like, he wasn't all bad. They say he raped them kids, but he had all the hidden drugs and stuff.
I'm just
and
saying,
so what are you gonna do?
They said that, but
Takes all
nobody
kinds.
knows like who fuck. But I'm saying actually, you know what? I made a mistake. In the cartoon movie, they literally do portray him as an actual magi. Like as someone who has, but like clearly that's not true. He was just a morphine cocaine addict that raped kids, I guess.
Yeah, this was
Pretty bad guy, really.
Not at all complicated.
No,
I
yeah.
don't think.
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward.
He didn't hit.
Bag of shit.
This is why I shaved my head.
Yeah, that's
That
what you would
look-
look like.
Yeah, that kind of front bald, like weird.
Get the front bald.
Yeah,
that's the opposite
middle-
of where the
the
tuft
middle-
is.
Yeah. He
When
doesn't
dudes
have
have
the
the
tuft.
tuft, they go ring
I got the
bald.
tuft.
I've got
Yeah, that's what I have.
He's
the
got
tuft.
the anti-tuft.
Yeah,
I
and
have
that's
the
true.
tuft. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
this
you
is
see the
actually
tuft?
the
Can
opposite
you
of
see
what
the
I'm
tuft?
talking about.
Can you see the
Yeah.
tuft right now?
Yeah. Me
No.
too, dude. Me and you.
Yeah, I've
the
got the
tuft.
But yeah,
Anti-tuft. That's right.
He's got the anti-tuft.
obviously there's more to it, and we'll get into it in a different episode. But like, that was pretty much what happened to the Anastasia family. Like they were
Got
straight
shot.
up. Yeah, they
They
got
shot for hitting too hard.
too hard. And even though, again, like it did seem like Tsar Nicholas was like, I agree, this sucks. Like, we shouldn't do this, and then they murdered him. And then, you know, everything in Russia's been fine since.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they'll figure it out one of these days.
they'll get it. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thanks, Professor Cho.
This has been Putting On Airs.
Yes, thank you, Airheads. Return next time.
Yes,
Another sterling
like,
episode.
subscribe, download, give a 5-star review, tell all your friends, because if you like this podcast, I bet you that in Russia, podcasts like you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1,
Bye.
2, 3, 4. Royalty and rednecks are alike. They both like cutting and picking fights. Biscuits and baked beans where they don't belong. Sit on down with Corey and Trae and learn some fancy shit today. We'll laugh a little even when they're wrong. They'll take you to a magical place where if you call someone a cunt, nobody cares. They keep it debonair at Putting On Airs. Putting On Airs. Putting On Airs. Putting On Airs.
What's up, Airheads?
Hold on, no.
I'm sorry, I thought you were.
Yeah, no.
I thought you wanted it to just be
Sorry, no.
happening in the background, starting out. So you don't want me to say shit till you get up here.
go ahead, start talking.
What's up, Airheads? Welcome back to another edition of Clearing the Airs. This is. So, just to take y'all behind the curtain a little, which I would not have otherwise done. Before we started that, he was like, no, I got an idea. You know what's going to hit? It'll hit if you start, and I'll walk out the bathroom with the wine in my underwear. That'll be funny. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So he goes and stands in the bathroom, and he's like, all right, go ahead. And then I did go ahead. You saw me go ahead. Y'all saw all that. And then he went there and did the thing he said he was going to do, and then farted right directly in my motherfucking face. Hard fart right to the face. So yeah,
It's our last night, buddy.
yeah, it's fitting.
Sorry, guys, that the quality's a little low. We're in a hotel room. This is the only way we could do this, but we appreciate y'all being here. Sorry, dude. And here's the thing: I wasn't gonna fart.
I still smell
That wasn't the plan. I was just gonna be like walking in here in my underwear, but when I got to about right here, I was just like, oh fuck, I can't pass this up, because like as you know, the way we've been eating and drinking, my butt been going insane.
Oh, I would have farted on you too.
I know.
So, anyway, as you guys are well aware at this point, we've been on a 3-week sojourn to the United Kingdom, England and Scotland specifically. And tonight's the last night. We're flying back to California and Georgia, respectively. In the
Go
morning.
dogs.
So, yeah, this will be the last time you have to put up with such, like, sort
Low
of-
budget bullshit.
Yeah, but
although it's not
hopefully
like it's
it's
much better when we're in our zone.
No, yeah, you're right. My hair ain't hit for me because it got farted on.
You're gonna get pink. I just gave you pink eye.
Yeah, probably. God damn. You clean slated me with that fart. I totally remember. What were we gonna?
We were gonna do
what are we
Clearing the
doing?
Airs. We're doing Clearing the Airs, and
does it,
this
sure.
episode we just talked about. Dogs and Anastasia.
So
And
I guess I should say, in the interest of clearing the airs, as it were, again, dogs are fine. Okay, they're fine. Again, there didn't used to be anything wrong in this country with being a cat person. We used to recognize there's cat people and dog people, and it was okay to be a cat person, but it's not anymore because dog people have taken over. They won the war, is what happened. They won the war. Now,
That's
people
true.
like me are second-class citizens. That's what happened. But anyway, I think everyone should be kind to dogs. They should be treated well. Nothing bad should ever happen to them. Some dogs hit for me. Affronts to God hit for me. We've seen a couple bulldogs in the past few days.
Couple French
and
bulldogs,
I'm like,
yeah.
look at this little motherfucker. And look what he's doing. And they're just struggling to exist. Just like being half drugged behind their owner. Like, and the one I'm talking about was an English bulldog. Because I
Yeah.
feel like those are worse than French
they're
bulldogs.
definitely worse. They're definitely worse.
And he's just like,
Kill me.
yeah, but so wrinkly, so cute.
They are cute,
They're so cute.
and they're buddies.
Yeah, so anyway, that's part of what I want to say on Clearing Airs. Don't be coming at me with
No bullshit.
I think you did well on the episode. We listened to it last night.
I think I did fair.
And as one of the biggest
I'm
dog
just
lovers,
scared of y'all.
Well,
I'm scared of dog people because I know how insane you are.
for the record,
it's gonna get turned around on me.
as again, me being probably the biggest dog loving pussy that you know, I don't think that me and you ever really argued on the episode about dogs, because everything you were saying, I was just like, yeah, that's valid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just like, they're my shit, you know. But again, you're correct. I know how these people be.
That and the other thing that the air needed to be cleared on. I'm sure pretty much all of y'all gathered this already, but just so everyone's aware, the episode you just listened to, we recorded well before
Months.
Russia invaded Ukraine.
Yeah.
So when we talk about Russia a lot, and it never comes up, and I'm sure that in today's climate that seems really weird. Like, how can you talk about Russia and not mention the war? It hadn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So that's why that was.
And I don't think that we were on there necessarily painting Russia in a good light or anything like that. But yeah, like the whole Zelensky-Putin standoff had not happened yet. And, I mean, frankly, I'm sort of glad, because we do try to keep politics off this show just because we're just trying to have a good time. But yeah, that's what...
I mean, I feel like that thing ought not even be considered political. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
It's just like...
There's a tyrant.
Ukraine hits, Russia don't hit, as
Right.
far as that conflict goes. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's actually, I guess it's both. It's very directly relevant, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Those were the two things that I wanted to make sure and clear the air on, I believe. I'm trying to think of what else. You have anything else from the episode?
I don't think so. I remember listening to something that came up to me, and I remember saying it to you when we were listening to the episode last night. When I did this episode, I hadn't read up on King George, Elizabeth's grandfather, and I totally skipped over the part where, like, the reason that Tsar Nicholas and his family were murdered is because King George the V, I'm probably getting this wrong, but I think King George V refused. That was his cousin, you know. And if you look at them, they're identical, dog. Like, they could be easily body doubles for each other. I failed to mention the part that, like, the reason that Tsar Nicholas got murdered in a dungeon was because his favorite cousin refused to give him asylum because it was a bad political move. And I think anybody listening to that and they don't hear me bring that up is going to be like, I can't believe you glossed over this. But, like, either I just genuinely didn't know that at the time. I don't know. But, like, to me, it was like a glaring omission, and I apologize.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like there was something else I had with the Romanovs or whatever when we were talking about that when listening
something about
to
Rasputin and his dick?
Yeah, but we said that it wasn't... Didn't we cover that
it wasn't his dick in that jar?
Yeah. I think we did.
And that he wasn't a warlock. And
yeah,
if you had to cast Rasputin in a live-action Anastasia movie, who would you do?
This is cheating because I think this guy played Rasputin. If he didn't, he should have. But Peter Stormare, you know who it is? Peter Stormare. I might be saying his name wrong.
Is he from the one from Breaking Bad?
Let me show you who this motherfucker is. I think he played Rasputin. So again, I'm
okay,
cheating.
Right.
But
I think Jeffrey Rush could have knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Oh, dude. That guy from The Big Lebowski.
Yeah,
and a million other things. Show the camera.
That guy, that's Peter Stormare or whatever. He's a perfect
he rules. Is he Swedish or like?
He's Swedish. Yeah,
yep,
he's
right
Swedish.
on.
You nailed it. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, he rules, man. In Big Lebowski, if you don't remember, he's the guy that is in the band that wants to cut people's wieners off, castrate people.
It's the king.
Oh, spoiler!
It's the king's man.
He plays Rasputin in that?
Yeah, I think he does.
Okay,
yeah.
right on. I still haven't seen that. That's on my list for that's on my list for going
and no,
on.
It's those King George and his cousins, they're played by the same dude, you know, and it's just wild that one papaw, all his boys was like
Kangs.
the Kangs
of everywhere.
Different parts of Europe. It's like that because they be cousin fucking.
Yep.
That's why. But it's still wild.
It is wild.
Am I supposed to be reading?
No,
shit?
we're gonna skip the emails this week just because we're doing this on my phone. But we're gonna double up on it next week, and we're gonna have like a extra long email airmail section. So you know that you can email us at Puttin On. Go ahead.
What else have people been saying? Like in just on
still,
Twitter and stuff?
I mean, I'll be honest with you.
Catching hate for anything? Or
still the squirrel stuff. I mean, the squirrel
stuff.
debate lives on. Let's see. People were telling me that I was wrong about something to do with Shakespeare, but that's whatever. I mean, there was a lot of conflicting reports about this guy's life anyway, so I don't really feel bad about that. That was an interesting thing of like researching Shakespeare. You would read one thing, and this is like an accredited scholar talking about Shakespeare, and then you would read another thing, and it would be kind of different, and then everybody was like, yeah, nobody really knows, and everybody just kind of has their opinion. So I was like, oh, I could have just done this episode from scratch. I could have just started talking shit about Shakespeare.
I don't know if this is going to hit for you or not what I'm about to say, but I'm still going to say it. Like,
by the way,
just 'cause I
usually
don't know.
this means it's not going to hit for me.
Yeah, but this is more about them, the airheads, because like, I just don't know if I should say this or not. So here's the deal.
Go
We've
ahead.
recorded some stuff over here in the UK, right? But it's sort of like this. Some of it's better. Like, it's, as far as quality goes, I mean, audio and video quality is better. Because I'm just thinking about, like, I'm sure they want to know what we thought about the trip, the experience we've
Oh,
had.
yeah, yeah.
And so I was going to say, like, we've got that
We
for
do,
you,
we do.
but it's only if we look at the final product and in terms of quality, it's good enough to put out. And if it is, then we will. And if it isn't, we'll cover it on a future episode.
Yeah,
I
for
just
sure.
feel like it was odd to
I
just
mean,
sort of not
here's the way-
acknowledge
Here's the way I looked at
the
it, was that
experience we've had.
here's the way I look at it. If we look at it and the quality isn't up to the standard what we think it is, in my opinion, we can still put it out as a bonus episode.
You're right, you're
where it's
right.
like you're still getting your regular putting on airs this week, but here's this. That way we're not depriving anybody of anything.
You're
So
right.
either way, you'll
You'll
gonna
see
see
it.
you'll
Yeah.
see it.
You'll
and
see
we
us
talk,
talking about it.
Yeah, we talk, we wax poetic about this entire trip. And I mean,
Wax drunk.
drunk, yeah, super drunk. Drunk for 21 days straight. That is that might be a record for me. Usually I take.
No.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's definitely not a record for me. But it's
Hell
in my
no.
30s. In my 30s, no,
Yeah,
because
I
we
know.
toured when I was in my 30s. So
We ain't been hammered for 21 days.
no, but I've had a good buzz on for 21 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll cover all that in a future episode, and obviously we're gonna write about it in our soon-to-be best-selling book.
I love the way you said that. The tone in which you said that was like, obviously we're gonna it's gonna be in this stupid goddamn book when it comes out.
Oh, the French.
Yeah. French. Oh, the French champagne.
Have we played that clip on this show?
We didn't play it because we thought we'd get in trouble, but we talked about it though.
Yeah, right. We should though. One
I
time.
don't. That it might be an episode that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, right.
It's so clusterfucky with the timeline.
Yeah, no
because
idea.
of the way we record them. But yeah, it's Orson Welles being hammered drunk trying to film a champagne.
Oh, the French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now for his excellent.
So we thank y'all so much for tuning in to this. Like I said, next week the airmail episode, the airmail segment will be longer. We just are having to like finagle things on different phones and stuff. But keep sending those emails because I've got a good stack of them that I want to read next week to Puttin On Airs @gmail.com. We want questions, we want concerns, we want comments, and also guys, we're in the process of working on a merch store. We haven't got one set up yet, but if you're out there and you have like some like in your brain, you're like, oh, I thought this would be a good t-shirt, email us at puttinonairs@gmail.com, and I'll say this, I'll do this myself. If your suggestion ends up being a t-shirt or whatever, I'll throw you a huge discount on some merch items and shit like that. The idea I had from this past week was I want to do a t-shirt that is a picture of a horse and then it says equals, and then on the other side it's a picture of 15 dogs. So stuff in that vein.
I think it'd be like the sort like. The best thing I can think of is like a butcher's chart. But
Yes,
not butcher.
yes,
It's like
I know other-
horse. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The thing where it's like a diagram of the
yes.
animal, and it's horse equal sign, and then there's 3 rows of 5 dogs.
Yeah.
and
So-
in the same style. I think that
And Ben, for the record,
utterly nonsensical, but to people that don't have the context. But I still feel
I don't
like,
know. I think it
but I
plays.
still feel like it could.
It could
hit either way.
I agree. And by the record, by the way, and for the record, I'm not asking people like give us full on Mad Men pitches. I'm just saying if there's a segment of the show that really resonated with you, be like, hey, do something with that. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that you really think hits, or you're like that could be something. We want to do a merch store and all that good stuff. So
That's my favorite type of creative feedback to get is, hey, do something with that.
yeah. But you know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're
I don't
saying.
want anybody to think that I'm asking them to like actually come up with slogans and stuff.
But
it's
you
just
can.
like, for fucking sure you can. Like I said, I'll hook you up with some merch. So, anyways, putinonairs@gmail.com. Send us all that stuff. Like, subscribe, download, tell all your friends, rate, review. Get your friends to rate and review, all that stuff. We're having so much fun on this podcast. The audience grows every single week, which is all that you can ask for, and we'd like to keep that up. And this is like PBS, guys. It only works with viewers like you.
That's right.
All right.
Skewers like skew.
Skewers like skew. Skew.
What, you just said the whole rate and review thing, right?
I did.
You did. I was here for it, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been trying to muster up a fart, but I can't. Anyway.
It's over, buddy.
Love y'all, bye.